I'm a different girl, can't come from a different world. It ain't even worth us splitting, but if you knew what I was hitting on, you would never do me like that. Period. Okay, seriously. What I'm about to say, y'all? What I'm about to say? What's up, honeybees? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chloe Elise back at it again with another YouTube video. So I know what y'all about to say, girl. I know I've been gone, but I feel like this was a much needed video. I'm not saying I'm back, but this is a much needed video. So get ready with y'all pens and y'all notes, because I'm about to drop some gems. Okay, so this is a rant video about just life in general and about feeding the soul. I just really felt called to do this video on my way home from work, just based upon like what I've been listening to these past few days. So I'm not gonna get too much into it. So if you ready, I'm ready, you ready, let's go. But before we go, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl, and let's get into it. Okay, guys, I'm so happy to be back semi-partially. Yes, I'm really excited to be back. And like I said in the intro, this is like literally just a rant video about feeding the soul. I just had that word on me as I was coming home from work and kind of playing out throughout the day, but it really came to me very aggressively as I was driving home for work. So I'm just like, I have to do a video. Somebody out there needs this, and I just feel really called to do it. So I pray that God is on my side as I'm speaking, so that this message really hits for you, because like all of this stuff that I just been feeding my mind with and my soul with these past few days is like, I mean, major. So let me go ahead and get ready, because girl, I got some notes. Okay, I got notes in my phone, I got notes handwritten. I'm about to pull up these notes. Honey, just you watch. Give me one sec. Okay, I'm ready now. So like I said, this is about feeding the soul. Just keep that in your back pocket, okay, as we about to dive into this, right? So feed the soul, feed the mind. Like feed the mind, feed the soul, feed the soul, feed the mind. Either way, it's gonna like hit. So if you're feeding your mind or if you're trying to feed your soul, let me speak to you real quick. So like over the past few days or whatever, or not even the past few days, it's been for a while, y'all. Like y'all know how I am about my mental health, and like if I really am not in it mentally, I can't do it. And that, like, literally you can't do anything without your mind, like whatsoever. So like for, I want to say a good while, like months on top of months on top of months, I've really not felt like myself. But I feel it even more like deeply these past few weeks or whatever. I'm just like, I really am not myself. I'm doing things that I thought I would never be doing. I'm like, it's like I can't get back to myself. And usually I'm a feel down, but I could pick myself back up. But it's like I feel like I'm really in a slump right now. Like I am just, I don't know, I'm outdone, right? So I'm having these rough days. Like I'm like, when I say rough days, like my mental is shot. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't know where to go. Like I don't really want to pray. And this is me being very transparent, you guys. I don't really want to pray because I feel like God is tired of me having broken promises. And anybody that knows me know I say this all the time or whatever. Like I don't feel like I wanted to call on him, because it's like, am I about to fail you again after you helped me get back off my feet? So I'm like, let me just do it by myself. First mistake, y'all. Probably 50,000th mistake, but first mistake, y'all. So I was in a funk all the time. Some days I had happy days, but I could just literally go right back sad, like super quick, because like the happiness highs were very like temporary. Like a person may make me happy that day and I'm like, oh, I just love today, I love the world, oh my gosh. And it's like something can really just ruin my entire day just like that. And that's another thing that I'm gonna talk to you guys about today. So lately, on why I feel called to do this is because a few days ago I had to let somebody that I really cared about like go. I have mixed emotions on that, and I have mixed emotions because a part of me is happy that I finally did something for myself, like holding myself accountable for how I feel, my non-negotiables and all the above. But on the other side, it's like I wanted you to be better. I wanted you to be a person that, like, you know, like we could just grow from this. And it's like, it was like really in a place where I just couldn't grow from it. So it took me a while just to really come to terms with that, and I'm really kind of still not in terms with it, but I'm trying to hold myself accountable. I'm trying to push forward. I'm trying to, Chloe, you got to keep your word. I keep my word about a lot of things, y'all. Like, if I make my promise to a person, like outside my body, I'm gonna live up to that. I'm gonna make sure I do it because I'm a woman of my word. But when it comes to me, I'm not. Like, I can renege on myself at any time. Like, Chloe, no, you don't want to do that. Or, Chloe, it don't matter, this feel good, so just keep doing it. Or blah, blah, blah. So just that, just keep that flowing in your mind. With that, it was like I had gotten to the point with this person that I had given so much of myself to, and like I was really down, you know, like I was really like on a thread, y'all. And I'm still on that thread because I mean it hasn't been that long, but I'm getting my mind back, I'm getting my momentum back, I'm getting my energy back. Like, I want to feel at peace, you guys. Like, I really want to feel at peace. So this is just me like trying to get peace with all y'all, because okay, we got to do it together. I can't do it alone. But I had given so much of myself to this person. I'm looking down at my phone because I got notes. I had given so much of myself to this person, and I knew that, like I said, internally, and I didn't really know how to paint that externally to that person. So I had given so much of myself to a person, and in hopes that they would do the same thing back for me, you know. Like, I'm gonna always be there for you. I'm always there for people that I care about. Like, I could be like, there, I'm white on rice, like I'm there. And it's like I never received that back, and that's like so messed up to say, but people that give the most out to people can never measure up to, like, nobody can ever measure up to what you give out. Like, you be like, dang, like you gonna do me like that, and I did you like this. And it's like, why do we feel, oh, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm knowing somebody else is out there like me, but like, why do I feel like I have to overly like bear somebody with affection? But it's like, that's just my nature. God blessed me with that trait of like just feeling like I just want to be affectionate. Like, I just love that. I love love. I love feeling loved. I love feeling appreciated, and I want others to feel the exact same way, right? So that's why I do what I do. This is why I do videos like this. This is why I like give my friends advice, or people come to me for advice. I don't know, y'all. Let's just get into it. Let's get into it, or whatever. I'm a big person on helping people, right? So the word help to me is very serious. It's very serious. And I say that it's like as serious as the word loyalty as to a lot of people, including myself. But help means a lot, because when I help somebody, I hope to help them in a way that really changes, you know, their not inner core, but helps them change like their way of thinking. And I think that's why I'm so like open to giving advice and open to telling my story, because my story could be someone else's story, and then we got a story together. So like, let's relate, let's connect. That's what I'm big on, right? So I'm big on helping people like get to a better place. But it's like, when I need to get to that better place, who's gonna help me? And like, nobody has. I mean, people have helped me, but like not the way I needed them to help me, type of thing. In the help that I give out, I just thought I would get in return. So just keep flowing with me here. I know this is about to be long. So like, I give my all in relationships. I give my all to people that I really care about. I give my all in friendships. I feel like for my closest friends, I give my all in the romantic relationship side. But that's the issue, y'all. Like, I've given my all to people, like, expecting, like I said, someone to do the same. And I felt like at this point, this person that I just dealt with, this was a different type of situation for me. Like, same type of situation, but very different feeling, very different emotions that I feel or whatever. So this person had made me really feel kind of taken advantage of. Like, not, and I say that very lightly, I'm saying it, I just feel like I gave to this person without really receiving anything that I really needed. You know what I'm saying? But my camera's about to die, so one sec. All right, y'all, I'm back. But like I said, I felt like I just gave without like really receiving anything. So it was in a way like I got let down so many times that this one was just so different though. Like, I've gotten let down so many times with different people, but this one was different. Like, it was just very different, very different. It was like the same person who was putting me on this happiness high, right? Kept pulling me back down at the same time. Like, the sun is up in the sky, right? So like, that's happiness. So like, you're lifting me up to be on this happiness high, but then the ground, you look up, it could be cloudy. So it's just like, why do you keep pulling me up here just to make me come back down here to look up and see that it's cloudy? I didn't like that. I felt like in this one was more so, I'm a person that's gonna tell you what I gotta, that's how I feel, what I gotta say. This one was different. Like, I did that, but it was like also kind of, I felt defeated. Like, every time that I would say something, it would like not make sense to them, or like they'll say something that makes sense, and it's just like, now I feel defeated, like I don't have a rebuttal. And I'm like, that's very different for Chloe. Y'all know how I get down. If you've ever talked to me like as a friend, or I like dated you or whatever, you know I will write you a book in no time, and you're not shutting me down about nothing I say. This one, I mean, I'm like, I felt small or something. I'm like, I can't do this no more. Like, I can't keep getting pulled up just to get pulled back down at the same time. Every time I get pulled up, it's like I get let down to come right back down. Like, what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So yeah, so that's a little backstory on everything, on why this video is even happening right now. So this is day 2 of my healing girl summer. Y'all know how that is on TikTok. Like, but I'm really kind of trying to live that out. Like, I'm trying to eat better, I'm trying to think better, I'm trying to have a different mindset, a different, just different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need something, because I have to have peace, I have to have some type of faith, I have to live for something. If I don't feel like I need to live for anything, that's a problem. Like, where I feel like I don't want to do anything, that's a problem. I need to be productive. That's who I am naturally. So yeah, that's that. So I've been trying to like feed my mind different stuff. Like, every time I have like this temptation to reach back out to that person, I have to, you know, Chloe, get your mind right. Understand these are the reasons why you have to remove yourself. Don't feel bad for having to remove yourself off your non-negotiables that somebody's not doing, not even one. Like, you gotta just keep pushing. Like, sometimes people have to see you be removed or whatever to kind of get it, and it's like, that shouldn't happen, but for some people that's really what it is. And it's just like, I hope that I meet that person in the next life, but like right now I can't do it unless we're trying to like work towards something. Like, if we're trying to grow from the area that we're in, that's fine. Like, that doesn't mean position wise or title wise, I'm saying just like our peace. How do we get there? But I'm gonna stop ranting right there or whatever. So let me just tell you about all the things that I really listened to over the course of the last 2 days. Like I said, this is day 2 of my healing girl summer, and like what it just I gained from it or whatever. So one of the videos I watch, and I think it's called "What Does God Want for You?" But let me make sure, because I sent it to my best friend. Hold on. Oh, it's called How to Know. Hold on. It's called How to Know What God Wants for You, wants you to do. And it's basically based on the scripture from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 6. And it's from a YouTuber. His name is Alex Wilson. I'll like link it up here if I can, or link it in the description box, because like that was a powerful message that I really kind of needed. And like he put it so relatable, and it was weird though, because I was texting my best friend like, you know, I just got to get right with God, I got to do this, I got to do that, and like it just happened to come up on my suggested on YouTube or whatever. So I'm just like, that's just so interesting. So like I feel like this is fate, so let me click on it. But the video couldn't have came at a better time, you guys. Like he was just putting it in so much over relatable terms, like basically trying to have an analogy to surfing, because that's what he's really into. But like basically what I really got from the video was that you can't lean in on your own understanding. You have to trust in the Lord. You can't trust in yourself. And I say that like I want you to get this so crazy. Like I really want you to understand this. Like literally, let me go to the actual scripture or whatever, because I don't want to get this wrong. Y'all judging, I see y'all judging, but no, I didn't. Like I know what it is, but it's not the James 1:6. Proverbs Chapter 3, 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in on your own understanding, but in all ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. Like Proverbs a few years back used to be my favorite book of the Bible. Yes, I done kind of tapped out. Y'all, my mind is or whatever. But he mentioned this within his video, and he was really talking about like you can't lean in on your own understanding or whatever. You have to trust in God, because you can't do it alone. Like if you try to figure it out on your own, you're not going to like figure it out. Like you're going to keep going in circles. And this is just my like, you know, perception or perspective of like what he was saying, what I took from it or whatever. But it's thundering. So James 1:6 says, but when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That's so powerful, because you can't ask God for something and don't believe he gonna do it. Like when I ask God for something, I already know I'm gonna figure it out on my own, and you can't do that because you don't have faith. That means you don't have faith in God, you have faith in yourself. So that's what he was just talking about in the video. But you need to go watch it yourself, sis. So that's a little small plug, but I'm gonna plug everybody else too. So yeah, like I was just like watching that video, and it was like, wow, like Chloe, like you have to like really change the way you like are viewing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep making decisions based off how you feel and not what God feels. And like you can't ask somebody for something if you're gonna do it yourself anyway, right? Like I hate that. Like I hate when my sister be like, Chloe, what dress should I get, white or green? I'll be like, green is cute, it's summer, da da da. I'm gonna go with the white. If you already knew you was gonna go with the white, why you ask me? And I hear God saying that to Chloe. He definitely tells me stuff like that. So that was one video I watched. Now the next video I watched is by my girl Haley Gamba. If you watch her, comment down in the comments if you watch Haley Gamba. She is amazing. I love her. She's so transparent, so real. And what I got from this, and she was talking about, the video is called Manifesting and Executing Your Selfish Era, and I'm gonna put it in the description, put it on the screen, I don't know, one of the two. But what I really got from this, like she was really talking about boundaries, like your energy, money, hold on, some of my notes. Oh, and peace of mind. So I really needed to grasp that, especially the peace of mind side, where I was really struggling at before I watched this video. She said something in her video that really stuck out to me. She said, where energy goes, energy flows. And that really stuck with me, because it's like I wear my heart is on my sleeve. Like you could see my emotions all over my face when I'm mad, when I'm sad, whatever the case may be. And it was like really like I just felt that all in here, y'all. And I felt it because like when you having a bad day, so say like, okay, you wake up in the morning, you late, right? Boom. Once you already say you late, it's about to be a bad day because you irritated. Cool. You get in your car, you got coffee. Now you just spilled coffee over your white pants. Now you're like, oh my God, well, what else could happen today? You driving to work and you got a flat tire. And it's like you letting all these things bother you, right? Like you basically telling in your mind. As soon as you said you woke up or whatever, you late, you knew it was about to be a bad day. okay, like I'm just having a rough morning. Once you speak that into the atmosphere, boom, that's your day for today. You done already spoken into existence. So like where energy goes, energy flows. If my bad energy is going somewhere, it's gonna flow into the next bad energy thing to happen to me because I'm already in a bad mood. So like, what? I'm like, okay, Haley, preach to the choir because you're deaf preaching to me. So I really took that, and I'm like, okay, like I really love this video because it just spoke to me so heavily, and having boundaries for people, right? I don't have boundaries at this point. I was really negotiating my non-negotiables. Like, you have to have boundaries. Like, this person had boundaries that I needed just to, you know, like stick by and abide by, and I respected the boundaries. But how can I respect somebody else's boundaries and I'm not respecting my own? So I'm like, yeah, I gotta remove myself, right? So my boundaries, I'm like, okay, Chloe, you need to get boundaries. And my step one was basically telling this person that I gotta step back, and I don't do that. People let me go. I don't let people go. That was the number one issue right there. But I feel like I'm learning how now to have boundaries, and I'm glad that that video connected to me about that. But just giving your energy just the good stuff or whatever. And she was just talking about like how she doesn't let people bother her, and I'm just like, girl, bye, I can't do that or whatever. But it's really your mindset. You just kind of be like, you know what, whatever, like it's not even necessary, just keep pushing on. You just want good energy in your life. So just always remember that as you're going throughout things or whatever. So like these two videos really spoke to my heart, and it really just kind of kept me on my journey in the momentum of like, just keep feeding your mind, because you're having these moments where you feel good, like I feel that deeply. So yeah, so the next one I watched, boom, was Reclaim Your Destiny, Sarah Jakes Roberts. Don't play with the girl. I love her. Don't play with her, right? So that one was really good. If you don't know Sarah Jakes Roberts, you need to get hip, honey, because that's the one. She's the GOAT. Period. But she was talking about obviously reclaiming your destiny, and like this was just such a good sermon, and it was just really, and I watched this at work or whatever, but it really just took me to a place of like, wow, just wow. I'm like, Chloe, get it together. You just gotta keep, every time you feel down, you gotta keep fueling your mind with something that's positive, something that's gonna get you to that next dimension. So like, yeah. But in hers, what really stuck out to me, raise your standards, raise your level. Those who can afford to pay for it will pay for it. Those who can't afford to play. And I'm like, okay, cool. You shouldn't have to lower your standards for anybody, right? And they tell you that all the time. You shouldn't have to lower your standards, and yet we do that. We do that a lot. I know for myself, I do that a lot or whatever. But if I raise my standards and I keep my standards at this level and I don't come down, because somebody gonna live up to this standard. Somebody. It's a lot of fish in the sea. It's a lot of friends in the sea. Somebody's gonna live up to what I expect them to do. You shouldn't have to lower your standards. If somebody's not willing to meet you, then they can't afford it. They got to go. I said, Sarah, don't play, Sarah. Sarah, smile. But yeah, don't play, Sarah. Let's keep it moving. Because this video getting quite long. And then I listened to my friend's podcast. Shout out to Jada. Shout out to Christian James. I love her name. But I was listening to this podcast called Within Your Reach, and I'll just put everything. I'm gonna plug everybody in the description box. So just look out there for that. But they were basically talking about doing the inner work, and this really, like, I just needed that, y'all. I really needed that podcast. So shout out to Jada. If you haven't checked it out, and I'm gonna keep saying it, if you haven't checked it out, you need to go check my sis out, because this is just a place of like healing in her channel. It's just like a place of wellness. Like, I feel very connected to myself when I listen to her podcast. So go check her out. So yeah. But Christian is basically going over her journey of doing the inner work. And if you haven't checked her out too, these 20-somethings podcast, I'll plug Christian as well. But Christian was basically talking about, like, she had said something about being a deep filler, and I felt that. I said, woo, Christian, that's me. I'm like, emotions have taken over my life. Like, that's how I felt. That's anything that I felt is basically affecting my entire day, affecting my entire life, affecting how I talk to people. And that's everything that she was saying. So shout out to her for basically, I'm paraphrasing what she's saying or whatever, but I felt it because I live it. So I'm a deep feeler. And then like everybody's like, oh, you're so sensitive, you're always sad or blah blah blah. And it's not even that I'm just sad. Christian had the right word for it. It's being overly emotional. Like, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a sensitive person. That means you care a lot. That means you have a big heart. That means that everybody in the world should be like you. Because everybody should have feelings. I'm not saying everybody should be overly emotional like me or like Christian or like anyone else that feels that way. It's like I felt that because the person that I had to let go really kind of was like, yeah, you need to get like a stronger mindset. And that I really felt that because it's like, I don't need to get a stronger mindset. I'm just overly emotional, so I feel a lot of emotions. And that's just who I am, and I have to come to accept that, right? Obviously learn how to cope with it, learn how to have boundaries with it and stuff like that. But that's me. I'm overly emotional. I feel very close to things. And like Christian's example in the podcast was, when I'm happy, I'm really, really, really happy. And when I'm sad, I'm really, really, really sad. And it's like, that is so me. If you know me, you know. So yeah, like over these past 2 days, I've literally been like, not even past 2 days, I've kind of been like grown in my solitude a little bit. I want to say maybe for the last kind of month, because I can pinpoint and acknowledge everything that's wrong with me. But sometimes I had a gray area and this gray circle, like I don't really know, like, Chloe, how do you get out this funk? So I'm like learning how to be in my solitude by being by myself, dealing with no emotions by myself, trying to talk to myself before talking to somebody else about it. So I've been learning to do those type of things. But like within these past few days, like I said, I'm learning how to have boundaries, what to give my energy to. So I'm growing in solitude to make me a better person and a better friend, a better romantic partner to whoever I'm supposed to be romantic with or live that life with or live life with, blah, 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 blah. But the one thing that I'm really glad that I learned is learning to have fun by myself. Like I learned how to entertain myself in the slightest way, kind of. I had to factor to that, but I learned exactly like I said, I learned how to talk to myself as well, before, you know, talking to other people. And that's a really important thing, like learning how to be your friend first before you need friends, and learning how to keep God in your forefront of like keeping, you know, God is your friend and yourself is your friend before anyone else. So you just gotta keep that in motion. But yeah, y'all, I don't really have a lot else to say. I just had to go on and rant and share that amazing soul food with you that I kind of got today and yesterday. So I'm really just dealing, this is a learning journey for me, as it is for anyone else. You do things, and I want to talk about something else. Like, just when I said like I learned how to talk to myself before talking to my friends, and I think that's because I feel a little bit not misunderstood by my friends. I kind of feel misunderstood by the world, honestly, not even just by my friends. They understand me a little bit, but nobody really knows what goes on internally, and nobody will ever really feel how you feel in the fullest capacity. So like, I just learned how to talk to myself first because I understand me, kind of. I'm still trying to learn me. You're going to learn yourself every day and for the rest of your life. But like, I just learned how to just deal with Chloe first. Like, learn how to be like Chloe. You know how you feel or whatever. But I'm just learning how to, nobody was ever going to really understand you in the fullest capacity or understand what you're going through, the situation you're in, the person that you like, how much you like them, or what the greatest parts of them are about, because that's only something that you see, right? So I just kind of learned just to, you know, deal with myself first, try to talk to myself first, because I understand it, because I've lived it. Someone else may not understand because they haven't lived it yet. So yeah, I really feel like this video kind of talked about a lot of things that I kind of went on in the situation that I just had or whatever. But it's not to say that they're a bad person. It's not to say that they won't be a great person or whatever the case may be in the next friendship that they have and the next relationship that they have. But it's just saying that you just kind of got to choose yourself. Like, they may not be a bad person, they just may not be the person for you, maybe at this time period or never. It could go either way. So that's all I got for today, y'all. I'm signing off. If y'all want some more videos like this, it ain't gonna be consistent. It's gonna be like very like sporadic, and that's bad to say, but I gotta be transparent with y'all. But subscribe though, because you know I'm gonna drop a video at some point. It's not gonna go too long without closing. But thanks for watching, y'all. I love y'all. I hope that y'all took something away from this video, and peace out.